This video is going to be showing off my collection, complete collection of the Fortune Star 20th Century Fox released Hong Kong movies. And so I have them ready in chronological order, so that's how I'm going to show them. The year the movie came out. So, starting with 1976, and that's The Hand of Death, the John Woo film, starring, well, it's not starring Jackie Chan, but he sold it, so they put him on the cover. But because he's ultra popular in America, that's how they sell it. And some of these releases would have these little pamphlets, so to advertise for the rest of the collection. But they're all included on here. There's 5 of them there, and then the other 20. And this is how I kept a list over the years. A lot of these went way up in price over the last 15 years or so after they were done producing these, and the longer we went after they were released, some of them just went out of print. Some of these I'm sure some of these were widely printed, probably the Jackie Chan ones anyway, just because they knew it would sell more. But yes, I do have them all now. And I didn't pay too much. I just had to wait a long time to get them. So, next would be 1977's The Iron-Fisted Monk with Sammo Hung, which I can't find it on IMDb, but I had read several times that Jackie Chan worked on this for action choreography or something, but like an action director. But that might just be a rumor or something. And so another slightly different little advertising pamphlet, but almost the same thing. The glue still on there. That's some of the other releases. So I really enjoyed growing up with these, and so over the years I would get them, and I couldn't wait to get them. I just had to wait a long time, and so I'm still currently watching some of the ones that I haven't seen yet. But this is Warriors 2, which I actually really enjoyed, and I watched it earlier this summer. And it has another pamphlet, basically. I have maybe 4 of these, 5 of these that have this, but this is one of the better Sammo Hung movies. I do really like it, and I enjoy it more than Magnificent Butcher, which came out roughly around the same time. And that was 1978. And then 1979, Yuen Biao and Sammo Hung with Knockabout. So, I watched this one. I didn't realize that it was going to be a lot of comedy. I didn't think of it that way when I saw the trailer over the years. But, there's that. I mean, a lot of these movies have comedy throughout, and then they get real serious at times, and then they get comedic again. That's Knockabout. Pretty good movie. 1980 with Spooky Encounters, aka Encounters of the Spooky Kind, which just got a Blu-ray. this year, I believe, from Eureka. And this is a very popular and really very popular talk and subject with Asian cinema or Sammo Hung movies. But I always thought the case was a little goofy looking. I just thought it could have been a little different. 1980 as well, with Magnificent Butcher, which I didn't mind this movie, but like I said, Warriors 2, I just thought, which came out a year or two before, a couple years before, was just much better. I just like the choreography more, I think. I don't know. A lot of other people are probably like this one more, because not a lot of people reference Warriors 2. They do mention this a lot. So this just happens to be, I usually end up enjoying the less popular movies and things like that. So that's Magnificent Butcher. 1980s, The Young Master, Jackie Chan, Yuen Biao, and not, I like the case, but this is a little weird picture of Jackie Chan. It kind of looks like, that kind of doesn't even look like him. It does, but I feel like they messed with the picture, or something happened. It wasn't, I wish I would have picked a different picture, but this is definitely in one of my top 10, probably top 5 Jackie Chan films, which I did buy the box set from 88 Films, because I couldn't pass on that. Something so significant and popular right now is the way we're getting these releases, and The Young Master got the mega treatment. So another smaller advertising. Well, this one's still sealed, so, but you get the picture. There's a few different ones, but they all advertised the line of releases. As you can see in the background, advertising sheets that I have as kind of a collector, because I really enjoyed this line. I enjoyed getting these, growing up with what I had access to at the time, and so these cool little vintage advertisements and order forms, programs, they just add to the nostalgic feeling I get. But Battle Creek Brawl from 1980, which has a Blu-ray now. It's, I think, on its second Blu-ray. This was actually Jackie Chan's first starring American role. He was in Enter the Dragon, which sort of counts, but he was just a minor role in that. But this is his first American role, not Rush Hour. So, but fans know that. So, yeah, I think more Jackie Chan releases in this line, and maybe as well as Sammo Hung, than anybody else. Again, due to marketing, you can sell more that way. But I love them all, so I had to have them all. Now, this is from 1981, and it's the only one, as you can see in the background here, that was individually advertised from the Bruce Lee collections. And I have it, Game of Death 2. Now, it came out, I actually have the skinny edition of this because it was in this Bruce Lee Ultimate Collection. Now, these weren't advertised, but they are Fortune Star, and they were released from Fox. But I just decided to pull this one out because it was the only one individually advertised from the Bruce Lee movies. And I really like this movie. I have it on VHS, and the VHS is titled Tower of Death, which was the alternate title. But I really like it. So that's Game of Death 2, which technically was, I don't know if that was released before this package, the Bruce Lee package, came out, or what, or it wasn't exactly Bruce Lee, so they got the rights to release it. Not sure. Also 1981, Ian Buell, The Prodigal Son, with Sammo Hung as well. And I found this years ago. It was a rental copy from Family Video, where I very often would visit when I was in college. About midweek, I would have a 5-day rental. So Wednesday or Thursday, I would rent a movie or two, and I could watch them 5 times if I wanted. And they'd be due Monday or Tuesday when I went back to campus. So that's Prodigal Son. And rental copies usually are risky, but I did get this. It has a nick in the disc, but after I cleaned it the first time, it has always worked. So it was worth it. It was only a couple bucks, and it was better than not having the movie. Now it's more available. I can find that. And I'm not sure if it's on Blu-ray, but hopefully it will get one. And this, The Postman Fights Back, not starring necessarily Chow Yun-fat. He is a main character, but he's not the lead. This is from 1982. I love this movie. It does have sort of a brutal ending, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I can get past it, I suppose. This is an old movie. And I love the environment. It's like a snowy, it takes place in like before 1900s probably. I don't know if it gives a year, but that's Postman Fights Back. And it takes place in the snow, so I usually watch this one when it's snowy out or cold. It adds to the atmosphere. That's Postman Fights Back. Another great one from 1982. It just got a Blu-ray. That is Duel to the Death. One of the first ones I got from this line, actually. I remember watching this over and over again, because I only had, I think, 3 or 4 of them. I found a couple of the Jackie Chan ones, and Sammo Hung, and then I saw this one, and I was getting them every time I found one. I would get one. That's a Duel to the Death. But it does have a Blu-ray now, but whether I get these on Blu-ray or not, I'll always keep these because it's part of me growing up, entering my teen years. Very fond memories at the time, the people I watched them with. I watched a lot of these with a lot of different people, my friends, my family. It's just very important to me. One of the Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung films, Winners and Sinners, which this just recently, I think this year, got a Eureka trilogy for the first 3 Lucky Stars films. And this is Winners and Sinners, the first one from 1983. Oop. I think this was one of my first ones as well. There's another pamphlet. My original receipt, I got it from FYE. And the disc. I remember getting this, and I was hesitant for a moment on this, because I was starting to get used to the Jackie Chan movie packs that often had pictures from other movies, and I was actually confused that I had this, and it just had an alternate picture and an alternate title. But little did I know, no, this was actually something different, and my brother bought it for me and I said, I think I might have that one. And he's like, well, we can get it for you anyway, and if you have it. return it. And then I found out I didn't have it, so it was good. It was all good. Worked out. Another early one I got in the collection, Hong Kong 1941 with Chow Yun-fat from 1984. This is a pretty epic movie. It's a good drama. They don't talk a lot about this one. You don't really hear it about it. So this is a little different. Advertising Kiss of the Dragon there. But Marked for Death, Big Trouble in Little China, all Fox releases. But the line, these are the releases from the line, but advertising for other things. Martial arts, that they got the rights to release. And that is another ad. So, I do recommend this movie. I recommend all these, but this is one of probably my top 10 Chow Yun-fat movies. It's worth a watch anyway. Even if you're not into the period type films, it's an era from World War II. And next is 1985's My Lucky Stars, Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung. If you know about them too, this is one of the talks when they joined forces in the Lucky Stars trilogy that they were in. And Yuen Biao is in these as well. But these are ultra popular. This might be my favorite of the trilogy. For a while, Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars, the third one, was probably because it was underrated, because it's not actually released in this series. I don't think it actually had an American release yet. There was an imported DVD from Universal Laser or Megastar, but until the Blu-ray from Cameron Ronson, which is still not an American release, it's a Hong Kong Blu-ray. Right here, as a matter of fact. I always wished that they had released it with this line, but they didn't. And for a while it was my favorite, but I think My Lucky Stars is ultimately my favorite. This is another favorite of mine, Heart of Dragon from 1985. Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung. They did a lot of movies this year. I know Jackie Chan did Police Story, My Lucky Stars, Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars, Heart of Dragon, I believe The Protector, the American film. And this is an annual watch. Watch this every year, as well as My Lucky Stars. And a bunch of others, but this is one that's just very important. It's always, every several months, I just have the urge to watch it. And watch it with my sister a lot. So, this is one of her favorites. That's Heart of Dragon. (1985's) Mr. Vampire with the late Lam Ching-ying. He's always cool in the movies. He's in a lot. Prodigal Son. He's even in Heart of Dragon. My Lucky Stars, Winners and Sinners. So, Mr. Vampire. I know there's more than one of these movies, but the only one that was mostly available, and this was so expensive for years. And finally found it for, I think, under $10, which was like, whoa. Definitely had to get it at the time when I found it. Another one, bought early on, Eastern Condors, Sammo Hung, Yuen Biao, Yuen Woo-ping. And this is an excellent action film. There's a little seal. Another ad with, they always randomize these, which was cool. But, Eastern Condors, definitely watch it if you can get your hands on it. Hopefully it gets another Blu-ray release in the future. I know it was released from Eureka in a 3-pack of Sammo Hung films with, I think, Iron Fisted Monk and Magnificent Butcher. So I think that's long out of print now, but I'm happy with the DVD. Hopefully we can get another Blu-ray at some point. And that was 1986. And also 1986, another one that was extremely hard to find. When I found it, it was always expensive, and then I found somebody putting this up for a bid on eBay, and I had to get it. I had a limit, but I was willing to go high for this one. And that's Legacy of Rage, Brandon Lee's, I want to say, his first film, and the only Hong Kong film that I know for a fact he did. And also has Bolo Yeung, who his father, Bruce Lee, was in Enter the Dragon with. So, very cool that this is how kind of Brandon Lee started out. Was kind of cool to know that it was authentic film that perhaps his dad would have made had he lived a little longer. Maybe a modern day action film. So that's Legacy of Rage, and I have not watched it yet. It's still sealed. So, looking forward to it. I am anxious to watch all these, including Royal Warriors with Michelle Yeoh. I have not seen this one yet, from 1986. But the key was to get them all. Now I have them all. And if they don't get Blu-ray releases, then I'll have the DVD and I can watch them every time. And kind of spare them and just enjoy them when I'm ready. I've waited this long. Now I have them and I can watch them on my own time. Maybe I'll do a marathon, I don't know. A month marathon watching all these releases. That's Royal Warriors. And this has sequels. I believe this is the first of several. And the between Yes Madam and In the Line of Duty, I believe. Which I know Legacy of Rage has a Blu-ray, but don't know if a lot of these don't have them yet. It'd be nice to get them. But 1987's Magnificent Warriors, Michelle Yeoh, which I believe might be a sequel somehow to Royal Warriors, even though this takes place back in the day, way back in the day, 1938, set in 1938. So, that's Magnificent Warriors, which I watched, and it was fun. Wasn't completely what I expected, but I enjoyed it. Another ad. There's a lot more of these that have them than I thought, but that is one of Michelle Yeoh's Magnificent Warriors. $1989, In the Line of Duty 4 with Donnie Yen and Cynthia Khan, I think is her name. Yes. And this is one of my favorites from the line. I've seen this so many times. It's just a very, very fun early Donnie Yen film. He plays like a hothead cop, but there's more to it than that. But I've probably seen this, and I'd say My Lucky Stars and Heart of Dragon more than any other film in this line. So I definitely recommend In the Line of Duty 4. Reaching the end here. Another one that I bought as a rental, Operation Scorpio. And this is a rental, but it's in decent condition. But I was willing to take a risk for the price. Anyway, I've only found this available maybe a handful of times, and 2 of the times, one including this version that I bought, where it was actually under probably 60 or 70 bucks, because for some reason this was incredibly hard to find. I think there's one on eBay now, maybe for 40 or 50 bucks, but I think I paid like $6 for this with shipping. Nobody else, I guess I lucked out and I found it. And so, Chin Kar Luk, Lau Kar Lung. So, came out in 1991, the year I was born. So, I have not watched it yet, but this is probably the most expensive one at the time that was out of print and hard to find, along with Legacy of Rage and Mr. Vampire for a while. 1992's Naked Killer with Ching Mi Yao and Simon Yam. I actually haven't watched this one either. I like that it's in a clear case. It's another rental. I bought a couple of these from the same seller, which was cool because they were decent condition. So that's Naked Killer from 1992, and hoping there's some action in it. That's not just a adult thriller style movie. I think it has that reputation. Last but not least, Jackie Chan's City Hunter, which is one of the many Jackie Chan releases from this line. This one actually has a good deal of features. So, a very fun movie, Jackie Chan's City Hunter. And so, I do have not many, but I have a few copies of this film on different releases. Tai Seng VHS tape, and I have a old international import release. So that's City Hunter from, I always thought it was 93, but it says 1992 on the disc, but on the case. But that's City Hunter. And that is the 25 releases from the 20th Century Fox Fortune Star line from 2003, 2004. Both years are printed on some of these releases, so I think with a span of a year and a half to 2 years, they had produced these and put them out. So, it's a memory I have. One of the fond memories of early days of me getting into the martial arts and Asian cinema. But here's one of the ads that I found, and I had to get it because it's very important to me. It says, these proven sellers are still kicking butt. So, $10 a piece. Funny how they went up in price, especially Operation Scorpio. Royal Warriors was a little pricey as well for a while. Operation Scorpio, I can't believe it. It was $10 at one point, and I got it for less than that overall years later. But I don't know if this was from a rental shop or what, and maybe you purchased one and they would scan one of these to check you out, and then maybe that's the titles they had, the barcodes. But singles order date August 11, 2004. Street date September 7th, 2004. So these ones were 2004 release. 5 more Hong Kong classics. Digitally restored and remastered on DVD for the first time. And then some of these, to see them on Blu-ray, and they're even better than that. Who could imagine that what Blu-ray was going to be like? You can see some of the specifications. So, all titles in English and Cantonese. It's funny how these are all happen to be in Cantonese. Nothing in Mandarin. So, it's one of the ads. And here is one of the other ones. So, introducing Hong Kong Legends. And you got people who are becoming popular. Simon Ham had a little bit of, I guess, popularity. A lot of people do know him, but Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Michelle Yeoh, Chow Yun-fat were kind of in the spotlight, and they all did American films. Or Sammo Hung did Martial Law, the American TV show. And that's the other ad. Which I love having some of these things to remind me. It's just kind of the collector in me. And then there's a lot more barcodes for like City Hunter, Magnificent Butcher. The title's on the other side. And then the Bruce Lee collection there, as well as Kiss of the Dragon. You can buy those. I guess those are the barcodes. And these ones came out on June 25th, 2003, and then July 22nd, 2003, which was the street date. So Fox kicks off a legendary martial arts collection, indeed. You can see the names of the many stars. So, very cool. And that is the collection of the 20th Century Fox Fortune Star DVD releases. And I've never seen anyone else review or show off a complete collection, so I've felt like doing it for a while. And about a year ago I got the final release that I needed, and that was Royal Warriors, or maybe the beginning of this year I found it, and so finally put it on film or on video so that other people can see it. So that's the collection. Thanks for watching.